When I started in this business way back in 1989, everything was very expensive. The word affordable and production really did not go together. Well, everything's changed these days. We have affordable cameras, we have affordable editing systems. You can really do a high level of production without spending a fortune. Now, thinking back to when I started and all through the 90s and early 2000s when I was involved in television, just to get a teleprompter cost an absolute fortune. They were big, they were cumbersome, and they weren't very portable. Not only that, you had to plug them into the wall just to make them work, which meant that if you wanted to do work on location with the teleprompter, it could be very difficult. If you didn't have power, you just couldn't make it work. Well, I've got 3 teleprompters in front of me. These are all made by Data Video. Now here we have one designed for DSLR type cameras. This is a TP-500, TP-300 designed for handheld cameras, Sony EX1, Panasonic HPX250 size cameras. And over here for full-size E&G cameras, shoulder-mounted cameras, we have the TP-600. Now what's fantastic about these teleprompters is they're easy to set up, they're light, and they're affordable. I would go as far to say that to buy any one of these prompters will cost you less than it would cost to get an operator with a teleprompter out on location for a day. So what I want to do in this video and the videos to follow is to run through each of these and show how easy they are to set up, show how manageable they are in terms of portability, and just show how easy they are to pack away and take wherever you need them to be. And basically, with any one of these models, you've got an affordable teleprompter system that you can take anywhere and use on location or in a studio environment. Here we have the TP-500. This model is designed for DSLRs. If I just swing it around, you can see DSLR fits into place. We've got the material which stops any stray light getting in, the hood, and it's just a simple bracket which supports the whole camera and the teleprompter. And in here you would fit your iPad into this bracket down on the bottom, and you've got the reflective glass, which is basically a mirror on one side and see-through on the other, which means a proper teleprompter system. So you can see how small it is, you can see how manageable it is, and it's really easy to set up and easy to work with. We've run through the 3 different prompter systems by Data Video. Now let's run through the procedure of how to put it all together. I'm going to start with the TP-500, which is for DSLR type cameras. Now this piece here, this fits straight onto the tripod, and this is basically the foundation around which we build the whole prompter system. And you can see there's different size holes there, so whatever size base plate you've got, whatever screws are going to attach to there. So if I just take the base plate straight off of the camera, okay, and that will fit together. Just screw it on. Okay, and once it's nice and tight, fit it onto the tripod, and that's firm. That's not going anywhere. Okay, so next, what I need is this piece here, and this will fit onto the front of the whole prompter. And basically that's where the translucent mirror will go, so you'll film through one side and mirror on the other to reflect the text. And just notice on the back here we've got 4 screws. Now depending which DSLR you use, if you've got one with an accessory battery pack, it's going to have a raised profile, so you will use the bottom 2 screws. If you've got a DSLR which is a shorter profile, meaning without the battery pack, what we used to think of as a motor drive, well then you'll use the top screws. To attach this, we use 2 rods, and the rods just slot straight through there. We will tighten this up, but you attach this unit first. And once you've got it there, again, I'll just make the point, my DSLR is a short profile, so I use the top screws. Okay, and just screw the rods in. And you'll see that freely moves back and forth nice and easy. So depending how large the DSLR is, and more importantly how large the lens is on the front, you'll be able to adjust that accordingly. So I'll just tighten it up for now, but knowing that we can adjust it as we need to. Now, beyond that, let's attach the actual cloth material which will stop the stray light from hitting the lens, and there's Velcro on the back of that. So just feed it through, nice and simple. Make sure the Velcro attaches. That's it. So everything's in place where it needs to be. And the DSLR lens will just poke through there. So let's grab the DSLR. That's my DSLR all ready to go. And a base plate just straight onto the bottom of the DSLR. Okay, and that will slot into place. And there's a lever here, a round knob which you turn. If you just push that in, that enables you to slot the DSLR forward. And I'll tighten that up. Okay, and if I just move the whole prompter system back a bit, I can actually get black material right around the lens, press in the button, and I can tighten. So that's great. It's all well and truly starting to take shape now. You can see that everything's coming together. Brilliant. Okay, beyond that, I've got 2 more rods. And I'm just going to put these rods on, and these will sit under the hood. And this forms the base which we'll put our iPad onto, or Android tablet, depending which device you choose to use. Okay. In fact, before I get to the hood, I'm just going to put this section together. This fits together, and this is what will hold your device. You can see that will fit onto the rods. So just slot these 2 together. Okay, actually goes that way. Okay, and that tightens up, and now the hood goes on. There we go. Pop studs, just clips together. Very simple, very effective design. Okay, next, the very important piece of glass. And notice that there's a green dot on one side, and there's a red or orange dot on the other side. That's important. The green dot needs to face forward. Remember, this is a mirror on one side and translucent on the other, so if you get it wrong, it's not going to work. And there's a ridge in here, and this is where the mirror will sit against. So we feed that in, rest it against the ridge, and then push it up to the top. And there's Velcro on this side and Velcro on the top. And just push it together, and the prompter is pretty much in place now. The only thing we've still got to do is put the iPad into position. So if I just slot the tablet into place, in this case I've got an iPad, but it could be an Android tablet, there's a lever on the bottom which basically lets us extend the base. iPad's in position, push it together, and I'll just loosen the screws on the bottom and actually move the whole iPad back, which gives less tension on the rods at the front and just means the whole thing is a bit more secure. So all I've got to do beyond that is get the remote, which will operate via Bluetooth, or you can use it wired if you prefer, and load the script onto the iPad, and you're pretty much there. Why struggle with expensive retakes, on-stage talent drifting off script, or a presenter's loss of eye contact with the viewing audience? The Data Video Prompter Kit, the TP-300, also the TP-500 and TP-600, they are all designed to help you overcome all of these problems by converting a tablet computer into a low-cost and effective prompter. The Data Video TP-500, the TP-600 and the TP-300, these prompter kits can be used on location, they can be used in studio environments, they can be used with DSLR cameras, bigger cameras, mid-size cameras. Your prepared scripts can be easily copied from an app into an email.